My name's Gavin Winter from CXAct, and I'm VP Strategic Solutions.
And I'm Cindy Grimm with CXAct, and I'm Vice President of Client Development. So CXAct has been around for about 40 years. We were formerly known as TARP Worldwide, and we are a customer experience research and consulting agency. While it's not an acronym, our name very much says what we do. So ACT, we analyze the customer experience. We help change the customer experience to drive a greater customer experience within the organization, and then we track over time for continual improvement.
Customer experience is important because it is a business driver. It's a proven business driver, and increasingly it's being treated by companies as a strategic asset in the way that any other asset of the company is treated. It's important because I think companies now eventually are starting to come to the realization that they can't treat retention and acquisition as two completely different components in the overall end-to-end customer experience. They're two inextricably linked sides to the same coin. And a company can't grow its way just by acquisition. If you're constantly trying to acquire yourself into growth against the background of customers who you're not satisfying, then that word of mouth is going to get out. Firstly, they're not going to actually return to your company, but secondly, they're not going to exhibit advocacy behaviors or other positive word of mouth behaviors. And in this day and age, with social media and mobile, then that bad mouthing is going to go on at a much higher rate in terms of it's going to magnify, it's going to accelerate, and it's going to amplify. So really, the two sides, you can't have one without the other. You have to have acquisition, and you've got to have retention.
What we found from working with lots of different organizations is that when you satisfy the customer, when they contact, the level of loyalty is 20 to 30 points higher than if you don't satisfy them. We also find that they're much more likely to recommend the organization if you satisfy them when they contact, and they're likely to spread more positive word of mouth. So there's a direct tie to the bottom line in terms of satisfying that customer when they have a question, a problem, or they're interacting with you on a routine basis. We are, through our methodologies, able to determine the bottom line impact. It can be millions of dollars to the organization based upon the customer points of pain in terms of the market at risk because of those points of pain. And one of the things that's very, very valuable is going to the CFO with a business case that says, these are the things that you're doing in your customer experience. Here's what it's costing you.
You see that the importance of customer experience to the financials of an organization is almost twofold. You've got reducing the cost to service and of mistakes. So it's the business at risk for fouling up on the customer experience. But there's also the loyalty dividend at the other end. As a result of me getting a good experience, what will I do in the future? Now, we do a lot of work in measuring attitudinal data, but then what you can do is overlay that on actual behavioral data. So do people actually do what they say they're going to do? And time again, you can build a model that shows not only do we actually reduce the risk to the business from the negative side of just make fewer mistakes, cost the business less, but grow the business and actually sell more by actually delivering loyalty, which causes people to have a higher propensity to buy again, to make positive